Okay. Technology is not being my friend this week. Sorry for all of the different times that I've told you I'm going to be live today and then I haven't been live. But technology is seriously not my friend. I'm having problems with my streaming device and it doesn't want to show our video on my computer. So I'm going to have to see what I can do to fix that. But that is the reason for all of my shifting around that I've had to do today. So apologize for that. And thank you guys for showing up and watching our live today. We are here to reveal our Bonefactor and Generoskitty boxes for June. We are, I believe, sold out of the dog, the Bonefactor boxes. We are sold out of those for May. So the next step is June, of course. And if you haven't subscribed yet and want to subscribe, I recommend going ahead and doing that so that you can get your box committed and get it reserved. Let me get Rachel. Rachel, could you come get Merida? I think she may need to go outside. She's fussing. Okay, thank you. Sorry, needed a babysitter. Um, so, without further ado, I will share our boxes with you. But if you have never purchased a Bonefactor or Generosity box, I want to give you the basis of what these boxes do. These boxes are different every month. Sometimes they're a theme, and sometimes they're sponsored by one of our manufacturers. Our June box is sponsored by our friends at Signature. And they've included a lot of great things for cats and dogs. It's a great way to sample a new food, a new product. Maybe you've been thinking of doing something for your pet and wanting to transition to a new food. This would be a great time to try out these products. And what this is going to allow you to do is get a good sampling for a much less price, a much cheaper price, a much less expensive price. And it's going to give you exposure to a lot of different things in our store. In May, our theme was our spa relaxation. And so you got a lot of shampoos and grooming type things and a lot of relaxation. There was a candle in there, lots of fun things like that. Think Zen. And for June, our box is sponsored by our friends at Signature. So this is the dog box. And I am still missing one item. It's due to come in on our truck today. And I'll tell you about that at the end of this. But I'll go through the dog box. So this is the Signature Kangaroo. You'll get a can of that. Get a bag of their treats. This is the Signature Guinea Fowl, and they have some really crunchy bones that are nice, easily broken apart if you need to do that. If you have a smaller breed dog. And then a bag of Signature kibble. And so there's a variety of different flavors. This is the turkey. So it's a dry food. You get a can, and then you get the Signature treats. And then there are also a couple of other cans that will go down in that box as well. And then you're also going to have a toy. We have some really fun toys coming in. That's what's coming in later today from our friends at Tall Tales. And so every box will have a toy. Similarly to the cat box, you will have a bag of food. You will have a stack of some different Fussy Cat and Signature type cans. This Fussy Cat is under the Signature heading, and this is their Fussy Cat can. So you'll get a sample of those, and you'll also get some toys. So each box is, if you subscribe, it's $29.99. If you purchase it outright, it's $34.99. And then the value of these boxes is guaranteed to be at least twice the purchase price. Generally, it's more than that, but it just kind of depends on what our box is for the month. But you are guaranteed to at least be getting $60 worth of product. So we will be putting more Signature in these boxes, having a lot of product in here, and you will have $60 worth of Signature or more. Yeah, Salem, you're right. I was just going to get into what Signature is. So Salem is right. She's giving me directives. She says, always good to mention that Signature food is egg-free. That's what got them hooked. I know that Salem's dogs have some chicken allergies and some chicken sensitivities. And so it is egg-free. Some of the unique things about Signature is that it is a limited ingredient diet. and chicken free, and it is also potato and grain free. So some of the most common sensitivities we see are to chicken as a protein sensitivity, and then also to grain and potato. Potato does tend to feed yeast in skin. So if you have a dog that already has a tendency towards yeasty skin, if you're feeding them a diet that has a lot of potato in it, it can just feed that yeast and make the skin even worse. So that is kind of the basis and premise for Signature. They have a lot of single protein limited ingredient diets like this turkey. They also have lamb. They have lots, catfish. But then they also have a blend of proteins, which is their Z Essentials. And that is a blend of 4 different proteins. So it is a great food. It feeds really well. We have lots of people here who use it and have had great success with dogs that maybe are having some different food sensitivities and need to rule out of a lot of things. One of the unique things about having the single protein is that you can do an elimination diet. If we know that we're okay with one single protein, you can start with that protein and then rotate to a different bag, a different protein next time. And it gives you the ability to say, oh, this is not a protein they're good with, or this is a protein that's also acceptable. They also have some unique proteins, things like kangaroo, guinea fowl, catfish, proteins that are more unique. They tend to have less sensitivities too because they haven't been exposed to them before. So again, if you're having a pet that's suffering from food sensitivities, licking their feet, having tear staining, itchy skin, hot spots, those can all be signs of food sensitivities. So definitely a great food to check into if you're having those issues with your pet. Signature treats are made to line up with their food. They're limited ingredient treats, give you the ability to, again, match your treats with your food. So if you're working on an elimination and eliminating proteins, you can make sure that the treat protein matches the food protein and that you are truly eliminating everything you can and checking to see what your dog might be sensitive to. I was just on Nextdoor a couple of days ago, and somebody was saying they were really struggling with their dog's allergies and looking to switch foods. And it is the easiest way for us to help you find out what your dog might be sensitive to is doing an elimination diet and going down to just one protein and one food and making sure your treats are on the same line with the food that you're feeding, but then also doing one of the sensitivity tests that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Those are the ways that you can really find out and track down what might be giving your pet the sensitivities. Doesn't necessarily mean it's always food, but it definitely is a large factor in those sensitivities. And again, I really recommend moisture with any diet that you feed your pet. So having the canned foods line up with the dry food and the treats allows you, again, to make sure that you are doing an elimination diet. You're just going with one protein source in everything that you're feeding, and it's all similar line as far as ingredients, so you can check and see, does this make it better? You can rule things in, rule things out. It's an easier way to identify those things. Signature makes that super easy from a dog perspective, also from a cat perspective, but we'll talk about the cat a little bit more. Their cat is called Fussy Cat, and their cat cans, these are their Fussy Cat Market Fresh. I was going to say Market Select, but they also have little tiny, you may be more familiar with their little tiny Fussy Cat cans, but they're highly palatable for cats and a big seller here for us. Let me get these toys out of here so I can pull their cat kibble. But this is their cat kibble. This is the Fussy Cat Fresh Hush. Market Fresh as well. And this flavor is the salmon flavor. And again, a very limited diet. It has the fish protein first, which is very important in what you're looking at. Now, when it comes to feeding cats, we highly recommend feeding as moist a diet as you can feed your pet, as as moist a diet as your cat's going to allow. Cats have different eating philosophies, and they are imprint feeders. So if they've always been fed a kibble diet, it can be really hard to transition them to anything else. But the more wet food you can get in their diet, the better, because of the way that their kidneys work and the way their digestive system works. They really need their moisture with their food. They don't need to go and separately drink water, because cats in nature would not go and seek water to drink. They would actually derive their moisture mostly from their diet. And so the more wet food you can get in their diet, or raw food, or rehydrated, freeze-dried, the more you can get of that in their diet versus giving them a dry diet that has a lot of carbohydrates in it, the better health your pet's going to have, the better health your cat's going to have, I should say. Your cat is looking for moisture with their food. So you'll get cans, you'll get a bag of dry food, which can also be used for treats if that's what you use dry food for. It's a great way to use dry food for cats. They do get addicted to those carbohydrates, and they want you, if you've ever had a cat that is meowing because his bowl is half empty, it is largely because they are addicted to the carbohydrates in that kibble. And so trying to get them off those carbohydrates the best you can is going to be really important. So there you have it in a nutshell, things about Signature and Fussy Cat. We carry both of these foods and have for a long time. They've saved a lot of animals from food sensitivities and have really helped so many pet owners get their pets out of misery, because those sensitivities can be real misery. Okay, Jennifer says the treats are our favorite parts of the box. Yes, Jennifer, a big old box, a big old bag of treats you get in this bag. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them. These will be ready to start going home to our subscribers on the 1st of June. Like I said, we're still waiting on those toys to come in. They should be in hopefully this afternoon. They didn't make the truck in time to get here before we did this live today. But we are very thankful for our friends at Signature or at Pets Global, who own Signature and Fussy Cat, for sponsoring this box. One last thing you should know about your purchase of these boxes is a portion of the proceeds from each box that gets purchased is donated to our charity partner of the month. This month is Tales of the Unwanted Rescue Organization, which is based out of Guilford County. But many of you know we choose a different rescue partner every month, and we have been able to give so much money to local charities by rounding up your change. And these subscription boxes allow us to do more of that. So we definitely appreciate you supporting this effort. I think it's a win-win. You get all kinds of good stuff to test out with your pets. It's really one of the best ways to test a lot of things around here without having to invest a whole lot of money. Okay, well, if you have any questions, feel free to continue to post after we end our live today. We will certainly be back next week to talk more with you. We have all kinds of good things lined up to talk about in June. We hope you have an awesome Memorial Day. We will be open on Memorial Day. So come out and see us, shop with us, bring your pet in to visit. And then on June 5th, a lot of us are going to be over at the Parisian Promenade over at the Bicentennial. We will have some prizes to give away there. So definitely come out and see us there as well. But we hope you guys have a lovely holiday weekend. It looks like the rain's starting to clear up, I hope. I really hope, right, Aurora Rose? Rain and dachshunds don't go together. Well, we hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you get online and purchase your subscription box, get your subscription in today. And we have a lot of fun stuff coming up for July and August, so you definitely don't want to miss out on a subscription. Thanks so much, everybody.